Hello friends, in the previous session we gave a detailed overview of partnership firm and its accounting to Mr. Daniel, wherein we have discussed about the partnership deed, basic provisions related to partnership and methods of capital accounts, that is fixed capital method and fluctuating capital method. Mr. Daniel has now got a fair idea about partnership firm and we hope that you guys have also understood it. But if you have missed that session, then do check it out to get the complete understanding of this topic. So now Daniel has decided to choose the partnership option, and he further wanted to know how the accounting of partnership will be done, how the financial statement will be prepared, will there be any changes? So with all these questions he came to us. So in this session we will discuss how to prepare partnership final account, and also we will explain you what are the steps to solve the sum systematically and quickly to get correct answers in the first try only. So before we start, if you are new to our channel, then do subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified for latest updates. And do check out our various accountancy courses available on our website www.letsdoit.com at very affordable prices. Now let's start with the session. Can you all tell us what final account is, why would it be prepared, and what final accounts consist of? So let's address all these questions one by one. Firstly, why final accounts are prepared? Every business organization would always like to know the net results of the business and its financial position, which can be derived by preparing financial statement at the end of each year, which is generally a period of 12 months. Final accounts is the last step of accounting process, that is after journal or subsidiary books, ledgers are prepared. Then from that trial balance is drafted, and from the trial balance and additional information, that is adjustments, final accounts of the enterprise is prepared, which consist of trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. Before discussing this in detail, let's quickly discuss the necessity or purpose of preparation of final accounts. Firstly, gross profit earned or gross loss suffered can be derived from financial statements. It also helps to ascertain the net profit or net loss made by the business for that particular period. It helps to find out the financial position of the business. That is, it shows the asset owned and liabilities owed by the business as well as capital investment made by the owner. Financial statements helps to calculate various ratios. Also, financial statement for 2 or more years helps in comparative analysis. This also helps in future planning. It helps in valuation of goodwill of the firm, and it provides required document to obtain loan, as well as it helps in computation of tax payable to the government. Not only these, there are many other benefits of preparing financial statements. So now the next question is what a final account is and what it consists of. Basically, in final accounts, we prepare trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet, giving us the figure of gross profit or loss, net profit or loss, and depicting financial position of the business. So now let's discuss these three parts in detail. Trading account. For trading account is a nominal account. All the direct income and expenses of the business are recorded in the trading account, and ultimately gross profit or loss is derived from it. This is the pro forma of trading account. The trading account is prepared for the year. Now since this is an account, so it will be in T format. On debit side, first column will be particulars, then inner and outer, that is 2 amount columns, and the same on the credit side. The inner column is prepared to give adjustment effect, and then total is brought to the outer column. Since trading account is a nominal account, so debit all expenses and credit all incomes. Thus, debit side includes opening stock, purchases, less purchase returns, direct expenses like factory expenses, carriage inwards, royalties on purchases, and so many others. Do refer the format appearing on the screen to get a clear idea. Now, the credit side includes sales returns, closing stock, goods given as a free samples, goods lost by fire or accident or theft, goods withdrawn by partners for personal use, etc. After posting all the items in trading account while balancing, when credit side total exceeds debit side total, that is when it is credit balance, it indicates gross profit since incomes are more than expenses, and reversely, when the debit side total exceeds the credit side total, that is the debit balance, it indicates gross loss. This balancing figure of trading account, that is gross profit or gross loss, is transferred to profit and loss account, gross profit on credit side of P&L account and gross loss on debit side of P&L account. Here the the trading account is closed, moving further, after trading account, we need to prepare profit and loss account. This is also a nominal account, so debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. This is the pro forma of profit and loss account. Similar to trading account, P&L account is also prepared for the year ended and in T format with the same format, particulars and 2 amount columns on each side. Closing balance of trading account, that is gross profit or gross loss, is transferred to P&L account. All indirect expenses, that is revenue expenses of the business like office and administrative expenses, selling and distribution expenses, are debited to P&L account. For example, salary, printing and stationery, audit fees, bad debts, etc. All indirect incomes, that is revenue incomes like commission earned, discount received, interest received, rent received, sundry incomes, etc. are credited to P&L account. Also, there are some important items to be noted over here. Interest on capital, salary or commission allowed to partner, interest on loan from partners are debited in P&L account since they are expenses for the firm. And interest on drawing is credited here since it is an income for the firm. Ultimately, when we close P&L account, credit balance, that is credit side total excess of debit side total indicating net profit, or it can have a debit balance, that is debit side total in excess of credit side total indicating net loss, which is shared between all the partners in their profit sharing ratio. If it is not given, then it is distributed equally and transferred to partners' capital or current account. Net profit is credited to partners' capital account, that is added to the capital as partners receive their share of profit, and if net loss, then it is debited partners' capital account, that is deducted from the capital. After this, partners' capital and current account are prepared depending upon the method of capital accounts, whether fixed capital method is followed or fluctuating capital method. Moving to the last part of the final accounts, the balance sheet is not an account but it is a statement showing financial position of a firm as on particular date, showing assets and liabilities of the firm on that given day. This is the pro forma of balance sheet. The heading would be balance sheet as on the given date, generally the year-end date for which the final accounts are prepared. The format will be first column on the left hand side, liabilities, then 2 amount columns, same inner and outer, and then on right hand side, assets column and again inner and outer amount columns. On the left hand side of the balance sheet, all the liabilities are shown like partners capital account, or in case of fixed capital method is followed, then partners capital as well as current account balance will be written. Reserves balance, loan taken, bank overdraft, sundry creditors, outstanding expenses payable, etc. Here do you wonder why partners capital and current accounts are placed under liabilities? Friends, these are the internal liabilities for the firm since their capital is to be repaid back at the time of retirement or death of a partner or when the firm is dissolved, that is closed. Do you remember business entity concept discussed earlier while understanding the fundamentals of bookkeeping, which states that the owner and the business are two separate legal entities. So for the firm, capital balance of the partners is a liability. We hope this is clear to you all. Now on the right hand side, we record all the assets like fixed assets, that is goodwill, land and building, furniture, etc. and other assets like investments, sundry debtors, loan given, closing stock, cash or bank balance, income receivable, partners current account debit balance if any, and all other assets. At the end, after recording all assets and liabilities in the balance sheet, the total of both the sides should always be equal, that is balance sheet should tally. Can you tell us why balance sheet will always tally? Firstly, the reason for this is that we follow basic accounting principle of double entry system, which records all transaction in at least 2 different accounts. That is, each financial transaction has an equal and opposite effect. The transactions are recorded in terms of debit and credit, and a debit in one account is offset by equal credit in another account, and so sum of all the debits are always equal to sum of all credits, and hence it is automatically balances. Also, we have studied the accounting equation which states that assets of the business are always equal to total liabilities and capital, and that gives the foundation of double entry bookkeeping system, and every transaction impacts this in some way, keeping the balance sheet tally. So these were three important components of final account, and this is quite clear to you all. Before winding up this session, let's quickly see the steps to solve final accounts questions, which will help you to solve the sum systematically, giving you the correct answers. Friends, in accounting, writing practice and a neat presentation are very important, and solving the sum systematically with proper conceptual knowledge will always give you the correct answer and fetch full marks in the exams. So we hope that these steps would be helpful to you all, and do practice various problems on this topic. In the next session, we will discuss the effects of the adjustment and hidden adjustments. So do check out those sessions for complete understanding of this topic. If you have any doubts, do like the video and share it with your friends. Do visit our website www.letsdo.com and check the various accountancy courses available at very affordable prices. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update from us. So see you all in the next session.